What's good, YouTube? It is your boy, Big Cool, coming to you from Colossal Sports TV. And I am back with another video. This is a recap of the DAZN card that took place last night. What did we learn from the three main card fights? First up, Michael Hunter, former cruiserweight contender, a guy that gave Alexander Usyk a lot of problems a few years ago when they fought. He decided to move up to heavyweight. Ever since, he's gone 4-0, 4 knockouts. He's under the tutelage of former heavyweight champion Hakeem Rockman. Yes, the Hakeem Rockman that knocked Lennox Lewis the hell out. Yeah, him. But let's talk about this fight. He fought Fabio Maldonado, a guy who I think was 25-1 with like 22 or 23 knockouts. Obviously, his record somewhat inflated because as soon as he stepped up again in competition, he got smacked. Michael Hunter is a very talented fighter. He is a guy that you should keep your eyes on, both eyes, not just one, because he is capable of springing an upset. He's in the mode of the smaller heavyweights, the Alexander Povetkin's, the Joseph Parker, hell, even the Dillian White, even though I think Dillian White packs a bigger punch, a little more muscular. He's 6'4". I don't know off the top of my head how tall Michael Hunter is, but, you know, he's a guy that's in that type of mode, but he can pull off an upset. You know what I'm saying? Because while the heavyweight division is good, it's not a golden era. It's not a gold standard of, you know, what it once was before when you had Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Vitaly Klitschko, Evander Holyfield, you know, Ika Buche, David Tua, all those guys, you know what I'm saying? Shannon Briggs, and then before that, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman. Then before that, you know what I'm saying? Joe Louis, and so forth and so on. But this is a respectable heavyweight division, be as it may, because all the, you know, pre-intense guys that could be a heavyweight are playing either football or basketball. So, you know, the guys we got, the guys we should appreciate and respect: Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Luis Ortiz, so forth and so on. But this fight really wasn't too much revealing in terms of how good Michael Hunter can be. We know that he has good hand speed. A lot of people feel like he can go back down to cruiserweight and wreak havoc on that division now that Alexander Usyk and Murat Gassiev no longer, you know, fight as a cruiserweight. They're both now heavyweights, expected to make their debuts very soon. But, you know, his team, him, obviously feel like he could get the job done at heavyweight. And while he does have the skill set, I seen something that kind of disturbed me last night. I was watching, and it's not even from a skill standpoint. It's the flabbiness I seen from a guy of his stature. Now, I get it. Everybody's not going to win a bodybuilding contest as, you know, some fighters are. Some fighters are just ripped, you know, and rock solid, 6-pack, 8-pack, 12-pack, muscles everywhere. But as a guy that want to be taken seriously, he needs to tone that up because he looked real soft in the midsection. And this is not to look better. This is to be able to better absorb those body shots. Not to say just because you have a 6-pack or 8-pack, you can absorb those body shots, and that a guy that doesn't really have a definition of abs down there can't. It's just that these guys are at heavyweight division. They punch hard, real hard. And while he's fought some respectable names at heavyweight, it's nobody like he will face when he steps up. Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, Dillian White, Tyson Fury, Oscar Rivas, you know, guys like that. So he needs to have his body in tip-top condition, tip-top form to be able to withstand everything that these big, hard-punching heavyweights are going to be throwing his way down the line. But he looked good in dispatching Fabio Maldonado, who stood no chance whatsoever. He pieced him up real quick. And then afterwards, him and his trainer, Hassan Rahman, again, the guy that knocked out Lennox Lewis, said that if something happened, if Ruiz gets hurt or he popped dirty for some, they ready to go for Anthony Joshua. They also mentioned that, look, I would like to fight Dillian White next. I don't know how logical that fight is, because Dillian White is getting ready for Oscar Rivas, a tough fight. A fight he probably shouldn't have taken, being with him so close to a title shot, at least we think, with the WBC been dicking him around for a year and a half, 2 years now. But that is the fight he's going to be fighting. So I don't know what's next for Michael Hunter, but I know that he is a guy that is very capable of giving us some very good, entertaining, competitive fights and pulling off, a few upsets if he can get his body right. Next up, we had the 2016 Olympic bronze medalist Hrgovic make his American debut against what the fuck guy name? I think Richard Corbin. We know Hrgovic recently signed with Eddie Hearn. He is a 6'6" heavyweight. I think his record going in last night was like 9-0, 8 knockouts. But again, we didn't get much from this that revealed anything to us. There was no litmus test. There was no test at all. Corbin came in swinging wildly, and Hrgovic stayed composed, stepped back, and landed a beautiful right hook to the side of the head that put Corbin down and out. He got up, but the referee deemed him not able to continue on. So it was a first-round knockout in his American debut on DAZN. But Hrgovic is a good fighter. He is a guy that is still growing, still learning. Like I said, he has that deep amateur pedigree. He has the height, the prototypical size. He seems to have the power of, a guy that could really, be a dominant force down the line in the heavyweight division, along with the likes of Tony Yoka. You got Joe Joyce out there, Daniel DeBow, Nathan Gorman, and I forget the guy, the Nigerian guy that's with Richard Schaefer. So the heavyweight division, if these guys can mature and develop physically and mentally, then, we could have a fresh wave of talent that'll be able to rise up and not only challenge the likes of a Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Dillian White, but be able to beat these guys and usher in a new wave of heavyweights. But that's down the line, 2, 3, 4 years. Let these guys continue to mature physically and emotionally and mentally, adapting from the amateur game to the pro ranks. But Hrgovic, however you pronounce his name, he is a good fighter. He is somebody that you definitely should take note of moving forward, because he is going to be a force to be reckoned with if he can continue to properly develop. Now on to the main event. The main man need to change his nickname to the Ice Man, because he iced out Antonio Moran last night. I'm talking about Devin Haney. Moved his record to 22-0 with 14 knockouts. This guy is an absolute monster, man. This dude made his DAZN debut and was dispatching the hell out of Moran, who gave a valiant effort. Had a scare at the end. When he got knocked out, it was like, oh, is he all right? Because you can tell in Devin's face that he didn't want to get too happy with his victory just yet. He wanted to make sure everything was good and all right with Antonio Moran before he started to celebrate with his team, with his pops, and, give out post-fight interviews. But once everything checked out with Moran, he gave his interview, and I think this guy is just a really special fighter. Him, Teofimo Lopez, are guys that could rule the 135-pound division if they stay. We already know Teofimo Lopez is likely moving up sometime in 2020. As for Devin Haney, he's 20 years old, so they tell you the body is still growing. So there's no telling, how long he's gonna be at 135. But I know this guy has all the physical attributes you would want in a champion, a superstar fighter. He has the charisma. He has the looks. I mean, the guy can box. He can punch. You know, he has great reflexes. He's good defensively. He has quick feet, good foot movement, good foot placement. And he's passionate and dedicated and committed to the sport of boxing. Continue to, you know, get better at his craft and be a crossover star. And with Eddie Hearn, you know, promoting him and pushing him over here, it's only a matter of time before he pushes him over in the UK where he's from and where his promotional company, Matchroom Boxing UK, is huge. So, I mean, Devin Haney is a guy that you definitely need to keep your eye on if you haven't had it on him. Now is the time to, go back to his previous fights, then catch up last night, and then wait to see how his career unfolds, because him, Teofimo Lopez, are guys that you really, really, really want to pay attention to, because these guys could be very, very good, very great fighters down the line if they continue to, you know, mature and get better and show that they are really what they say they are. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the competition, the step up in competition has to continue. They have to go to that adversity that we all want to see young fighters go through and new champions go through to really prove their mettle, prove themselves to us. But so far, so good, man. Undefeated in 22 fights, got a knockout of the year candidate, highlight reel, one punch with the right hand. Boom! All she wrote for one Antonio Moran, man. But last night, the zone card was it was a solid card. All the fighters that fought on the card made statements, which it was intended for them to do so. Devin Haney, you know, led the night with the highlight reel, one punch knockout of Antonio Moran. And now, you know, he continues to move up the ranks, closer to a championship fight. Likely may face the winner of the Luke Campbell, Vasily Lomachenko vacant WBC lightweight, title fight next year, because I think he's like 4 or 5 in the rankings. Also, Teofimo Lopez is in there as well. You keep hearing that name Lopez because he's a guy that can forever be linked with Devin Haney, whether they fight at 135 or 140. Also, throw Ryan Garcia in there as well. He's another rising, powerful, talented, lightweight prospect who fights on the zone, who is promoted by Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. But if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you drop those comments in the comment section down below, giving me your thoughts on this recap. What would you like to see from each fighter? Michael Hunter, Flip Hrgovic, and Devin Haney. If you enjoy the content throughout the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Turn those notifications on, man, to be notified every time I upload content. Shout out to the movement and everybody that is moving with us. Be sure to check out 3kingsboxing.com for your latest and greatest updated, unfiltered, and unbiased boxing news and information reported the way it should be. Until next time, I am out. Peace.